Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Tractor Tuesday here on Kettle Moraine Meadows Farm. We're still waiting on parts for that Model C project, so we're going to take a little distraction route here and take a look at something else I got on the docket for hopefully later this summer. One of my 2022 auction finds. So, no farm's complete without a manure spreader, and went to the auction not really looking to buy anything, and this guy went for 80 bucks to me, and although it needs some love, I'm pretty excited about it. So as can be seen, as clearly marked here, this is a John Deere, presumably. So I'm pretty sure this is a John Deere Model N PTO driven manure spreader, but as you can see, it's a bit rough. But actually, somewhat surprisingly, the mechanics are in pretty good shape. The beater chain here was disconnected, but it is there. We just gotta loop it back around that sprocket. And what that was taken off for, as I was told by the previous owner, because this was a living estate auction, so he was there, he'd fill this thing up with wood chips and took the beater chain off so he could just use it to make trails, which is kind of a cool idea, actually. But mechanically speaking, none of the bearings are super loose. The chains stay on the sprockets. I fired it up real quick just to test it. Really, what we're looking at here is just some paint, maybe a couple new boards on the sides, and 2 new tires. Look at the inside here. The boards in the bottom were already replaced. The boards on the side were not. So if we do decide to replace lumber, that's already half done. The metal along the sides on the top lip here isn't too bad. Everything in the back still seems pretty good. The only issue we're having with that is this front apron here has some rust holes in it, but that's not too tough of a piece to replace. Seen in a lot of pictures of these things, this is frequently bent down probably from getting hit or something, but this one's got some weld marks on it from being repaired, probably from that exact same situation. I believe this is where the tag goes, so we're missing that, so I don't know exactly what we're looking at here, but like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a Model N. We're also missing the chain cover for up here. Walking down the right side here, you can see the lumber's starting to get a little warped, a little bit of peelage. This tire still holds air, but I think we're going to want to get a matching set on there. And maybe just go over some of the gearboxes, check the seals on them, just so that our fresh new paint job isn't getting completely ruined the first time we go and use this thing. But like I said before, everything's pretty solid. The bearings don't feel too loose. I'm pretty sure he kept this in a barn, so should be a fairly easy project just to get it looking a little bit nicer before we go and start using it and just filling it up with junk. So these Model Ns were made in and around the 60s, I believe. There's not a lot of information out there on the internet for them. Pretty much every other model of John Deere you can find information, especially like the older horse-drawn ones, but not a lot of info out there on this one. I couldn't even find any articles or anything that says how many bushels it holds, but it's about 10 foot long by 4 foot wide, so we should be able to fit a pretty good amount of manure in there. That's Probably get the whole pile in there in one shot. So the lever is still operational, functional. All the linkage is still there. It still works. It has kind of a neat jack system on it, but the thread on the handle for it is bent, so it's not moving too well on its own right now. That's probably going to need a little bit of straightening out. Maybe make a new handle for it, tighten these holes up. That's probably the only mechanical issues it has right now. Well guys, another short one today as we're kind of in that interim period between winter and summer when things get busy again, but definitely going to be getting some use out of this thing soon, so hopefully you'll stick around to see if I pull it off or not. See you next time, guys.